LGBTQ plus discrimination affects millions of people around the globe every day. It is a very big issue that our society needs to take head on and finally put an end to this horrible act towards these individuals. So what is LGBTQ plus discrimination? So the acronym itself stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and queer. The plus sign accounts for all the other identities that people have. So whether you have a different gender identity or a different sexuality or anything like that, like pansexual, two-spirited, asexual, anything like that, that's what the plus accounts for because there's so many to list. So the acronym just kind of keeps it all packed. Discrimination itself, the definition, is the unjust treatment of anyone based on their class, race, sexuality, age, gender, or any other way of discriminating them. Knowing these definitions is very key because if you don't know what they actually mean, there's no way that you can fully understand the issue. So just to give an example of this, I'm going to take on the case of Everett Clippert. Everett Clippert was a mechanic that worked in the Northwest Territories during the 60s. He was a closeted gay, as we say, but recently came out to people in the public. When he was found holding hands with his boyfriend out on the streets, he was arrested for public indecency and locked away. When put through a psychoevaluation, he was deemed sexually inept and sexually depraved, which was some counts of arrest back then, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. After his 30 years, he had another psych evaluation done and was found again to be sexually depraved on a deeper level and a sexual sadist, and then was put away for life. He unfortunately died in prison without any exposure to the outside world at the age of 86. This just shows how times have changed from back then to now. Even though things are still bad now, they were a lot worse before and we have made progress. So one thing that I found really interesting was I found this law that was just taken out of Canadian society recently, where it states that any physical assault affected on a person after the knowledge of their sexual identity cannot be constituted as aggressive assault and battery based on the act upon. So this basically means that if anyone, before this law was outlawed, anyone that came out to you saying their sexuality or gender identity, if that person then assaulted you for knowing that your information, they could not be brought up on these charges of attacking you or abusing you in any way because they said it was an unjust way of telling someone this and they had every right to come at you because it was a shock to them. I thought this was very interesting because it tells us that saying this deeply emotional part of us and sharing that with someone means that they can attack us and not have any retribution for it. So I thought that was very interesting, but I'm very glad that this law was taken out back in 2016, which is very recent and kind of shocks me, but I'm very glad that now the law has been taken out and it is now a safer place in society for everybody. So I came across this organization called Youthline. They focus on youth in Ontario, and it is a help service that they can go to talk to them or just get some advice. They started around 1992 by 3 Black citizens that then started to grow it upon helping their university. Then as it grew, they started to help other people in the community and get in contact with other schools and stuff to help build their enterprise. Now today they are supporting over 46,000 kids a day just to help them get through their problems. They offer phone calls, online chats, and one-on-one discussions to help you with any questions you have. If you're in a dangerous situation, they can help you. Or if you just want to chat and just kind of help if you have any questions, they're totally there to support you. I thought this was very nice because they offer a safe space for anyone to go to if it's not safe for them at home or in their lives. It gives them a good place to go that they can talk and let their emotions out without fear of being judged or discriminated against. So when you think of religious stereotypes, you think of like the Christians and the Catholic people that say that gays don't go to heaven and it's a sin to be homosexual. And I thought this was very interesting because everyone thinks that all Catholics are homophobic and everyone thinks that all non-Catholics should support the issue. So I found that because a lot of my close friends are Catholic and they do support homosexuality in the LGBTQ plus community. And I found it very interesting that people have these strict stereotypes towards them, where yes, it does say in the Bible that man shall not lie with man as he lies with a woman. But it also says that everyone should love everyone no matter what. So I think that no matter who you are or what you do, God still wants you to love people for who they are. So having these religious stereotypes, it's very easy for people to judge you based on your religion or based on the way you look from people. So overall, I believe that LGBTQ plus discrimination is very prevalent in the GTA, especially in the outer regions of the city. Being in the city core, it is very accepting to have different kinds of people around. But as you get into the smaller towns around it, it becomes less accepted, and it's very hard for people to come out, especially if they're in difficult situations. In the GTA, it is very needed that we have say something and do something about this issue. There are a lot of organizations and people out there that are doing something to help, and I believe that these communities and everything should be supported and given the means that they need to do what they have. I am very proud to be part of this community, and I hope that soon everything will be changed and things will be better for our community and this discrimination will finally end.